So a Yankees top prospect is actually in the Bronx. On everybody, hope you're doing well. Tonight's the night. Division series starts. The lineup is not out yet. Actually, not even the roster is out yet. So once that comes, I will get it to you. So whatever you do, just make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure your notifications are touched as well. That way, when it does come out, you'll get it. That way, you'll know exactly what's going on, and it'll make more sense, whatever it winds up being. Because I have some more news for you here too. You know who this guy is? Anybody? Who the hell is that? Right? That's Caleb Durbin. Why am I talking about him? Well, he's up in the Bronx. Okay. Now, before we get crazy, he's not on the 40-man roster. Okay. He's not going to be playing. People aren't going to be like, why in the hell are they playing a kid? You have to be in the 40-man earlier in the season. You have to play in order to be eligible for the postseason. He's not on the 40-man at all. But I do think he will be on the 40-man to be protected from Rule 5, obviously, at the end of the season. But why am I talking about this kid? Well, he's up in the Bronx because they're doing something that they did with Derek Jeter and Jorge Posada in '95. They brought them along for the playoff ride, even though they weren't officially on the team and full-time players and so on, because they wanted them to experience the playoff environment, and they knew these guys were going to be in their future plans. And it looks like Caleb Durbin is going to be in their future plans. Okay, he's an undersized second baseman with a lot of speed, kind of Jose Altuve-ish. I have him right here. He's 5'6", 185 pounds, hits righty, bats righty, throws righty, and so on. Okay, 275 hitter this year, 10 homers, 60 ribbies, 31 steals, OPS of 839. Okay, now he's had 3 consecutive seasons of 30-plus steals as well. So there's a pattern of speed there. Okay, and he's an undersized player who plays just bigger than his size, kind of like Jose Altuve, right? What this also tells me is that not only is he going to be in their future plans, he's going to get a shot during spring training, but they're very likely going to keep Jazz Chisholm at third base, which essentially takes Alex Bregman out of the speculation, right? There's been people talking about Alex Bregman and predicting him to the Yankees. This very likely, in my opinion, takes him out of the scenario here, which makes sense to me too. So this kid is an exciting young player. Very exciting young player. And if he can play second, you have Jazz at third. Obviously, we need to tighten our defense no matter what. So whoever's going to play first base, if it's not Anthony Rizzo, and then obviously Jazz Chisholm is going to get more seasoning at third base, so he'll work on his throws. He's got a hell of an arm, but his throws have not been Scott Brocious-like just yet. But can't expect him to be that way. He's been a second baseman and outfielder his whole career, and then he's tried a new position when he came here. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I do expect him to be better in 2025, but very likely he's going to stay at third. A guy like this will get every shot to play second. He'll probably compete with Yorbit Vivas and some of these other guys, right? Oswald Peraza and so on. But it sounds like they regard him very highly, Caleb Durbin. And I see he's somebody I profiled earlier in the season as a kid to look out for. So, and this article is showing that they're serious and they want him to come along for the ride and experience what playoffs are like in the Bronx. So he's going to be here tonight, the ALDS. So I thought you might find that interesting. And you know, it's. And I'll read it right here. Yankee prospect Caleb Durbin is in the Bronx ahead of the ALDS game 1 against Royals. This moment represents the Yankees going back to the roots that helped create the dynasty. During the 1995 postseason, Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, and company were asked to tag along, experiencing the bone-chilling highs of Game 2 versus the Mariners. That's when I think Donnie Baseball and Ruben Sierra hit that back-to-back phenomenon in Yankee Stadium, where the place was just – they were going to tear the stadium down. As well as the Yankees' eventual crushing failure in Seattle, helped prepare them for the burn of the bright lights. They're doing the same thing with Caleb Durbin. So they don't do this very often with a lot of prospects, you know. There's nothing else Durbin's presence indicates that the Yankees value him highly and will give him the chance he deserves next winter. So I expect him to be at spring training, competing for the second base job. He's already in AAA, right? Caleb Durbin. So he's 24 years old, so he's young, but he's an exciting player. He was a 14th round draft pick in 2021, actually by the Atlanta Braves. He was the overall pick, 427th overall pick. Looks like he was, I guess, traded to the Yankees. So he's a guy to look out for. And again, he's in the Bronx, experiencing this electric environment that's going to happen tonight. And you got the Royals, right? And again, like I tell people, do not underestimate the Royals. Don't underestimate the Tigers. They're here for a reason. They beat teams that, well, so many folks said would beat the Yankees. That doesn't clear the path and make it easier for the Yankees, despite what some people say. It does none of that. Okay? They were a better team, the Royals, than the Orioles. They played them better. So the Yankees, and I'm waiting for this roster to come out because I want to see what they're going to do here. We know that Alex Verdugo is going to start tonight in Game 1 because they announced that last night. We know that Anthony Rizzo's off the roster now, at least for the ALDS. Those are things that happened last night. I announced these things last night. So that's why I ask you to hit your notifications if you subscribe. That way when shorts come out, little bits of news, you'll get all of it. Okay, I want you to be in the loop with everything as it comes to our Yankees. So that's what we know. There's a lot of angry fans. Why isn't the main guy here? He has not done enough to justify being a starter. And if you look at Alex Verdugo's stats versus some of the guys in Michael Wacha and some of the other pitchers that he's facing, and I actually have a chart here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Alex Verdugo versus Michael Wacha. 273 hitter. Bats 273 against Seth Lugo. Bats 429. Okay. And against, Cole Reagans is a small sample size. He's only 1 for 2, so he's batting 500 there. Those are the 3 most prominent pitchers for the Royals. And he has solid stats against all of them. So would I be surprised if he starts all the games? No, against those pitchers. Would I be surprised if they get Dominguez in there or a different dynamic? No. I think both of them are going to get a shot. The question is Trent Grisham going to make the roster? Do they want to fortify? Since I said this last night too, if the defense in the infield is not going to be fortified with Rizzo out, then we've got to fortify the outfield defense any way they can. So I do think Trent Grisham now has a legitimate shot of being on this roster. I even talked about Duke Ellis. If they want to use the speed element, Duke Ellis represents a great fit because he is fast as hell. I think John Birdie's going to be here already. So, but if you want to fortify defense even more, Trent Grisham's another option. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. It's going to be really interesting to see what this roster, what layout of the roster is, and I'll get it to you once it comes out. But I want to know what your thoughts about this. Caleb Durbin's in the Bronx, experiencing playoff environment with the Yankees, and I expect it to be freaking nuts. It's going to be nuts. So stay tuned, gang. We will go live after the game, hopefully celebrate a win. All 4 division rounds are playing today. The 2 NLDS games, the 2 ALDS games. So it's going to be a litany of baseball. We'll preview the football, tomorrow's football games later on as well. But give me your thoughts about this. I thought it was pretty cool. So, and they clearly rate him very highly. So let's talk about it. Go Yankees.